I think we're good. I think we're good. Welcome everyone.
I'm gonna go check.
Today's matchup is going to be the versus LMB0 or Limbo. Little mix up with the logos earlier, but everything is all set and ready to go now. Looks like we have a couple teams. The is ready. Looks like they have all 5 guys. LMBO, we're waiting for one more to hop into this lobby. Let's see what is going on. How's everyone doing tonight?
I am good. I mean, it's not really night, but
You are right. It is after mid-afternoon here.
I got up 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, we have Lazarus in the booth here with me commentating, and we also have Laggy doing something, but I think he'll be commentating later, and also .com will be joining us.
Welcome back, .com.
Got a pretty full booth here, so ready to get into this and see what's gonna happen. What kind of predictions are we thinking for this matchup here?
That's a very strong team. They especially got Nogel, right? Yeah, that's teenager. I'm gonna.
I believe. I mean, it's very hard. I know teenagers change a lot of names. Used to be child, I believe.
But he's matured and now he's a teenager.
Next season he's gonna be the adult, right?
Yeah. I hope he continues that trend. That's pretty funny. But
Season 7 midlife crisis.
yeah, I mean, their season team as well. I mean, we got Quad in there leading the team with Fractor, Cream, Teenager, and Vanny, and it's a very solid lineup that they have going into that. Very tough last season. I think they were in the playoff. They're a playoff team as well. So it's gonna be a good matchup. LMBO or LMB0 Limbo. I was gonna call him Limbo for short. We have J-Retch, Avalish, Hodge, and Xark. Very still good players too. I've done a lot of scrims with them myself with UNSC, and good players in their team. So I'm really excited to see this kind of a matchup here. I'm really hoping that
Window gets a 5th.
Do they have a fist?
Not at the moment, no.
Yeah, hopefully it's not a 5v4. But you never know, it happens. I mean, that's kind of why we have that in there, situations like this. It's always more exciting 5v5.
Yeah, 5v4s are always just, eh.
They're not as entertaining.
It looks like clarification from one of the comments from Fourth. Teenager, yes, was formerly Nogel. Or Noggle. Noggle?
It's something.
I don't know, I kind of associate his name with the Christmas holiday for some reason, but I don't think it has any actual relation to it.
Probably because of eggnog? I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Maybe I'm just dyslexic in that regards. I don't know. Anyways. I'm not sure what maps we have going into this yet. I don't think anyone has selected it. They do have the League Mutator on going into this. Oh, I think I got a sneak peek. We have Abyss coming into this. Yeah, Abyss is a new map for this season. I know we had the Abyss tournament in the off season to give a good taste of how it could actually be competitively, and that was a really fun tournament. So I'm excited to see this map being played a lot more. I don't think teams really have the strategies locked down, and also there was that recent update where one of the red side shocks, I believe, were converted over to SMGs. So that definitely changes the defense strat going into this map.
Limbo has 5, okay.
Limbo has 5, there we go.
Yeah, Abyss pre-checkpoint is very, like, you gotta get your heavies up. And before the update is you could get double shocks up so easily because they were in like a double. You could like just pick one up and then dash twice and you'd get the other pickup. And so I think they're trying to limit the amount of heavies that are like being up at a time.
Yeah, I mean that's a very tough hold, especially when teams get set up with multiple of those heavies. So we'll see how this plays an effect now with a lot of these teams that they go into Abyss. Looking at the levels kind of across the board here, I mean they're all pretty much almost. I mean, we have 3 level 100s on Limbo. We have 1 level 100 and almost a few more on the side. So everyone's been putting in a lot of work here. So kind of excited
Except
to.
for Cream, but I think
Cream
that's
has
like
a
an
level
all.
100 account.
Yeah,
He just he's on the new account.
I don't get why people make new accounts.
To be
Maybe they
sneaky.
got a different headset or something, or maybe they're just trying out different things from PC to
Bought the secret
connect
quest
it.
free.
So
Yeah, different
I-
circumstances.
hey,
Yeah,
Laggy.
different
Welcome
circumstances
back.
take place. Oh no, I've always been. I'm just eating right now. But yeah, I feel like the main differences between these two teams, you can all see that all the levels are pretty spread out across the board, like you said earlier. But what I really do think is just going to make the difference is how these teams will be working together with each other. So I think that's something that I will be looking forward to see, because Limbo, I honestly don't have too much experience with watching them in general. Neither do I have much experience playing with their members. So I look forward to seeing how they're going to be playing this map, especially considering that it's Abyss, which is decently recent as a map. But then I already know that does been around for a pretty decent amount of time, so they have quite a bit of experience. But then they do have a little bit of new players, so there's that.
No, I completely agree with that. This should be fun. I really, like I said, I really like seeing Abyss being played. It's a very cool map. Like, and looks like we're about to begin right here.
What region is this?
Um, it's got to be New York or Dallas.
I doubt it's a Dallas.
Push the
Moguls-
view to red.
Oh yeah, there's not really a point in just kind of watching them sit and spawn.
Yeah, but I also just want to see how Limbo's going to be setting up their main defense, especially in this area, because I don't think there really is too much room to set up, except for that little the right side of the spawn area with the little dash. Because of this opening area, it's a little bit reminiscent of Canyon, but it's significantly more open. So I have no idea how to approach this area, because I have not played this map a lot, and I just want to see everyone else's take on this map in particular. So Thus already swinging right out the gate with Fractured pushing up, it seems. He's at low health. He should probably get health if he can. But yeah, looks like they have 2 pushing up so far, and they're still pushing the cart. That's good. Having your members push up while you're trying to push the cart is a pretty standard tactic, and it's very much so working in their favor, because they're getting coverage on the map and then making sure who's passing through. But yep, there goes Fracture. He got a lot of value out of that leg, to be honest. And they're already pushing a pretty decent amount on that cart, and it looks like they even have someone with a shield too. Yeah, shields pushing on the cart is effective per se, as long as you have somebody that has both of their guns up. So it can definitely be an effective tactic, because you can dodge with the shields if you're holding 2 of them especially, and there's also going to be someone shooting if there's a second person. But it looks like I didn't see anyone else on that cart too. But yep, that was a pretty decent amount of time on the cart, so that was a pretty good run, if I were to say so myself, because they're still pushing it.
Yeah, I'm not sure the car is actually stopped for any significant amount of time here. That was just.
And one more thing, I did want to point out how Exarch did look at his wrist. Looking at your wrist during a league match especially should just be something that every league player should be doing, to just make sure if things are going or not, because you're not always going to be having your eyes on the cart, and sometimes comms might not be consistent because so many things are happening. So looking at your wrist is a really good tactic. It should be, it's pretty, I don't know if I'm saying anything too crazy, because every league player should be doing that.
And there we go. We got a cart stop there shortly, and hopefully the Limbo can start locking this area, locking this area down. This is one of those first choke points, really, that they can start keeping the pressure on the.
Yeah, if the best you really want to set up heavies here, I know on the Vanisher, who's their main cart rider, he's very good with those shields. Good rocket by Hodge.
Limbo's doing a real nice job of keeping that cart locked down with these heavies. Like, imagine us trying to either get a group up going or try to get these picks on the Rocketeers.
So once the cart gets a little bit closer to checkpoint, the Rocketeer can start using that little area to the left side, which is where Avalanche is there, which is where Avalanche is standing right now, because that little window to the left can actually be shot through. and it's a pretty decent spot to just hide behind when the cart's that close, because the other room you can very easily get flanked and you have to be constantly controlling and checking that area too. Having this little position set up, especially on Abyss, it seems a little bit iffy. You can take a spot that's a little bit farther back, but then again, using rockets will take a little bit of practice on this map, so ignore the dog.
Yeah, I mean, that made great time here, but Limbo's doing a real nice job of hopping on that cart to stop any forward movement going into it. And it's like that, checkpoint for the...
It is.
So now it's going to be a little harder for Limbo to stop the cart at this moment with these respawn switches. And is just trying to keep this pressure forward as much as they can, constantly getting in Limbo's face. So hopefully intercept those rocket pickups on top of Jellyfish, or Steve, or Greg, or whatever you want to call him.
Greg.
X-Dark doing a nice job here holding down this flank section. That's the easiest way for to try to get back into red spawn. We have Cream coming here through this dash. Probably gonna try to cause some mayhem up here for the Rocketeer.
I've noticed Thuz rotating heavily through the flank at this point, and just trying to stop Limbo from even touching the cart. Welcome back, Laggy.
Lie down.
As the cart starts actually getting into this Jellyfish room, Limbo's doing a nice job actually stopping it here. But as it gets closer to that Jellyfish room, it's going to flip back into their favor for locking that down. So it's really going to be on to try to take out all these heavies that they're setting up rockets and shocks going into it.
Yeah, there is a lot of room to be standing from a far distance and just firing away with heavies. So it's going to be on the attacking team to just take the initiative and start pushing up as far as they can.
There you go, Cream taking out those shocks before they can get health.
Work. And yeah, it's not an uncommon thing to see in the league, to just see people push up. He was pretty low on health, the chances for Slim of winning that encounter anyway. So.
They finally stopped cart. It's been coasting since checkpoint, and I think that's the first time they stopped it, really.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they can keep this pressure on keep them off that cart, we're just going to start going into Limbo's favor.
Yeah, that rocket should have hit Avalanche, but it just went through him for some reason.
Cream doing a nice job keeping this cart moving when one's in the area. J-Retch with the pick on the rock, with the rockets. Teenager trying to get into the red spawn area to try to keep him away from that cart as long as possible. Getting a couple nice double picks here on Limbo. And he gets the third one, Junior. Critical health here. That's a tough spot being right in front of their spawn, but taken out by a J-Retch there.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Usually for that point, I would just use the dashes that I got from the kills to go away, but he was fully intending to distract him for the very last second, so that was good.
Yeah, I mean, about 5 minutes here, and they're just getting almost out of the Jellyfish room here. But it'll be interesting to see what Limbo can start setting up as far as more heavies, more presence in that flank section to keep stuff from coming in.
Yeah, 5 minutes not entirely out of the realm of possibility for them to just make the goal full on.
Yeah, and we clearly see that they're making great group pushes here. These dull moments the carts are down. I believe they are grouping up for those big pushes. Like Teenagers trying to lock down the section here, waiting for a group up, probably a call for a push coming in.
Yep, they're getting closer to that goal now.
And see, this is going to be very important for Limbo to make sure they have someone planted on that cart while they can.
Yeah, I think that's gonna start making a little bit more of an effort to start pushing up as a group now. because I feel like individually they hold up pretty well in just one sheer 1v1, so they're probably getting ready to group up. And Limbo is probably also getting ready to set up their explosives too.
And we see Vanny here picking up these rockets to try to get that cart some more cushion for anyone hops on it from red side.
That's a good group up by the.
Yeah, Red had his back turned on him, even though he was pushing. Blood is a bit rough.
Honestly, by this point, you probably want to start putting somebody on the cart just to deny any movement.
I could probably just like get the tiny pushes.
Yeah, because if
Go ahead.
if you don't put anybody on the cart at this point, they can just inch it in.
Hodge putting in the work those rocks to try to keep that cart from being touched, taken out.
That's been stopping all of them.
We got a small little group up from the coming in from the catwalk section. I mean, Limbo's doing a nice job of holding it for these last few percentages here. So we'll see if the can either try to get a group up in or maybe start trickling it in. Try to take this cart a few more percent.
Nice prediction.
Sure.
You pre-fired those rockets and managed to hit somebody. Yeah, no, once they get in, they really need to start grouping up.
Little over a minute and a half going into this. Limbo looks like they're trying to keep that pressure forward out of that flank section. So one thing about this this red side over here is this side up into the jellyfish room doesn't actually have a health pickup. So as we saw a little bit before, a lot of these Limbo players were very low and slivered on health, just because there's not easy access for them. Good double kill there from Danny.
Ooh,
Taking out by
nice double kill by
Danny.
Danny.
Nice rockets. Limbo's been holding them little.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
this is really tough.
last part.
This is really tough to get the last few percentages going into it. So Limbo's doing a nice job locking it down, and as long as Duck keeps the pressure on him, got 3% here in 40 seconds. Very doable. One good wipe here, and Duck can get 100%. As long as Limbo keeps that pressure and keeps the eyes on the cart, stop it from moving. And there we go, fighting on the cart. That was key for stopping that last percent here. 20 seconds. I imagine
killing the rockets.
I imagine they're gonna start trying to
Wait,
trickle in on
perfect.
this. That was a good trade there to just stop them from pushing on
Kamikaze.
that. Exactly. Avalash. Last group, I assume coming in through here now.
Yeah, they're trying in overtime.
Oh,
There
that
we go.
pushed it in.
Ooh.
We had that taking 100%. 5 seconds left
5
on the clock
seconds
there.
remaining.
Holy smokes, that was a good first half of the snap. Kind of excited to see how Limbo is gonna start taking this out now. See, we got Spot setting up these SMGs. This is one of the new pickups where the shocks used to be.
SMGs are extremely good on this map. There's a lot of like open areas that you can make use of the SMG's long range.
Yeah, and they did receive a nice little buff up on them too, so a lot more people pick them up, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, they just shred people.
To the people in Health House.
Yeah, Limbo's wasting no time trying to keep this cart moving as fast as they can, stacking it. Each person up to 3 people gives an extra 10% of movement on there.
feel like having 5 people on cart should just like make it really fast.
A neat idea I've always thought of was if you had dashes and you dashed on the cart, either speed charge the cart to move a little faster, or if you're low on dashes, have the cart charge you up.
Would change the game so much.
Oh, absolutely. it's not a small addition by any means.
Tiny addition.
This is why TF doesn't listen to our opinions.
It's very good here for Limbo to double stack, especially since they have a lot of time to make up.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're kind of on pace with what Bell was, because I think Bell ran only one person most of this majority going into the full area. So Limbo's making up some great time here, trying to catch up, trying to stay on pace.
Pushing the cart with a shock, I'd probably end up blowing myself up.
It is a good deterrent if you can get it right too.
Good disruption by Cream.
Meme.
Yeah, Cream staying in their health room is very important. It's going to stop that cart from moving. And if he's picking up the dash and health pickup too.
Yeah,
it's
it
gonna
does
deny
take
them.
on defense, doesn't just, it's not very constricted to just where the payload is, and that's very clear.
Yeah, Limbo needs to call out where Cream is, because he's just sitting in their back lines picking them off. He's on
Yeah, I
like
don't really
6
have
kills.
too much to say if I just see teams being impressive.
Yeah, we still got movement in this cart here, almost halfway through this full area.
Yeah, they're still getting pretty decent cart
Yeah.
movement.
Pretty decent hits by Teenager from the distance with the pistol sniping. It's
Yes.
a very linear rails, so it's pretty easy to get some picks there, and he took advantage of that.
That's not my
Has
problem.
Logan
Yes.
on explosives yet? I haven't seen anything.
Let's see. I think I heard a rocket's Vanny.
They do
Oh.
yeah, they do have a rocket.
It's
going.
Vanny.
Yeah, Vanny does rockets for the...
So Dove's got a really nice lockdown here. Got some vantage
Yeah, that's a
points
pretty
covering the flank.
decent spot to hide out on, especially if there's someone to his right. Oh yeah,
Ooh,
looks
good
like Vanny
rocket by
pushed
Vanny.
it. Oh,
Oh,
he
he's stuck on the
barely
rail.
died just now.
Big
Yeah,
Vanny.
no, that was
Ooh, that's
that was the best
really far
decision.
for
We should
health.
probably switch views now.
I believe he was trying to wait for anticipate that dash pick of that team that rotate back, but someone from spawn.
Yeah, that
picked
was
up.
the best thing that he could do because he was getting attacked from behind. Looks like they have 2 pushing up. But yeah, he pushed a bit more faster than that, so that's good for him. Yeah, still though, my problem with this is how like every time I'm like watching a game like this, and then I just see all the players just playing and just being consistent with everything, I don't have much to say. Because it's like, how do I pitch in on this cast without saying something that's obvious? Like, oh, he has a gun.
He has 2 guns, Slaggy. It's very different.
That's why I always have trouble like passing like teams that are actually doing things right, because if they're doing something
Oh,
wrong, I
good
don't
pick by
really-
John. Or is that John? Johnny. Johnny.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Johnny.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Oh, he shot somebody. Nice.
Well, he did a really good job of taking out those rockets. You gotta make it sound interesting, even if it's not.
Yeah, but no, that's the thing. I mean, a lot of these really close games with really good players. I mean, you can't nitpick too much, so it's hard. I mean, a lot of these rockets, a lot of these times we expect fights to go one way or another, so it's really cool to see.
But something
that-
to consider is that we're not the ones in there right now. So.
Oh, absolutely. And Dove's doing a nice job actually keeping this cart from getting around this first bend towards checkpoint. So I'm wondering what Limbo's going to start doing here. Group ups, cause some distractions, try to pick up those heavies in front, to pick off those heavies.
But yeah, Limbo's pace has been pretty lackluster so far, and if you compare it to the pace that The had previously, they have about 1.5 minutes to reach that checkpoint, so they really are stressed for time. Lackluster was probably not the best word to use. I'm very sorry. I avoid to use the words like that.
No, but I think, yeah, pretty much know what you mean. I mean, they haven't really pushed it past this first curve, and it really starts going to the red side favor like last time.
What they can do is that they can push up a little bit and try to get rid of the heavies before they are even set up, so that they can have a little bit of an increase in pace. It looks like they've been trying to do that all the entire time, but Thu's been pretty decent at contesting. So
Good
they still
rockets from
have
Vanny there.
around 1 minute left. And yeah, Vanny's pretty far off hitting them with rockets because that's the angle that the cart's in. So yeah, good for him.
Yeah, no, Zaha's just blocking Limbo from any like type of push. Like I haven't seen them
Oh.
go past the cart at all.
Avalash getting behind, getting a nice pick here. They take out Rockets.
Nice
Nice
pick
double
on
kill on the
Teenager.
Rockets
Yep.
too.
1 tag, 2.
Hopefully his teammates can follow up and
Yeah, that's something that I always want to see, but you rarely ever see it is when a single player gets a good few picks, but no one's really there to build off of it.
Teenager with these long range shots.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Wonder if we can get an overtime at least to trigger off.
1. Time's up. Red team wins.
Honestly, I take back what I said earlier about the stuff with pace. I feel like it was more over just something with consistency that Limbo was having somewhat of a problem. Because they actually were pushing it quite a bit in the earlier parts, but I feel like because ever since they started putting up a little bit more force behind their defense, they started to lose a little bit in their consistency.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
that kind of thing kind of messes with coordination a little bit.
yeah, on the we have Teenager top scoring 7,700 points, 70 kills, 42 deaths, and on Limbo side, Avalash 44 kills with a 5,100 score. Actually, Cream top killing with 72 kills. So good job on Limbo on that first map there. A lot of really good things that we saw from both sides of that. And as we always say, domination's another map going into this. Probably want to guess Waterway, and looks like they do have
Yeah.
Waterway.
I don't even know why we have domination as like the second map. Just have it be Waterway.
You know what, Corey? Come on,
I love
Lars.
Corey. Corey's my favorite.
Yeah, Corey's the greatest.
Waterway's trash.
I've played in like 2 seasons. I think I've played a total of 2 Corys and like
Oh,
15 Waterways. It is not equal at all.
Until this
think-
season.
In season 2, I think I only played 1 Corey, 2 maybe.
Yeah, I mean, Waterway's a fun map. I really like Waterway, and they also actually did do changes to Waterway so that I have not been able to see yet. So I'm kind of
It's
excited
such a
to
minor
see.
change. It
What's-
barely changes anything.
What is the change? I've played a Waterway. I haven't noticed anything.
So they moved the spawn gate back like a bit.
What?
It's noticeable in basement. You know how the spawn door used to be like on those 2 like spread apart?
Oh, the invincibility wall?
Yeah, the invincibility wall. They
Oh.
pushed it back and now it's just one big wall.
That's kind of bizarre.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe it's to prevent a glitch or something.
Yeah, well, I know the top one really had an issue, supposedly from people like hopping back and forth or shooting out of it. But I don't think the bottom one really caused too much problems. But who knows? I mean, kind of see how it changes up. Probably adds a couple more hiding spots as well. Looks like we have, what do we have? The and Limbo's? Yeah, looks like the is breaking into Limbo's headquarters over here. And I believe Limbo had a drop, or maybe they're swapping out going into this next map.
I think they're stepping somebody out.
Medicinal.
Oh no, they brought him. Oh, medicinal. I think he does a lot of shocks.
He does do a lot of shit.
Fractor always does this. I never get why.
So look, this does not making any substitutes going into this next map. Trying to keep all their players warmed up, which is usually a good idea if you can. Well, any predictions, any thoughts going into the second map here for Waterway?
I mean, just based on how the payload went, I feel like Bell's gonna win.
Thinking 3-0 or 3-1, or what kind of score are you predicting here?
I don't know. If Limbo just like team wipes or something like that. But waterways are weird. I don't know.
Yeah, with Waterway, sometimes like your players can just be out of position, or they get a lucky wipe, and they can score on you. I think it'll be 3-0, but I think Limbo could get a couple, at least get a point on the board.
We got 2 for the here, Laggy. Any ideas?
Laggy's not here.
Oh,
He's
Laggy's
not
not here
here.
anymore.
Hey, Laggy, what's your opinions?
Yeah, Laggy, you're awfully quiet.
Like, how do you feel that?
Yeah, I do think the really has. I mean, their lineup's really strong. I do have to think The's going to take it, but I am going to root for the underdog in this situation and go for Limbo for the win. So take that. Let me go give a signal in case they're ready.
They seem pretty ready.
But no one's in the center, which is usually. Hoping to see.
Oh, we're starting. Okay.
Starting up Waterway. Let's go.
The wood away.
Match starts.
What do we?
3, 2, 1. Go.
One going on both sides here.
Blue takes C. Blue takes B. Red takes A.
They're being very aggressive in the beginning, just rushing their base.
Yeah, I mean, Limbo
Red
has
team
about to flip it
scores.
here.
Countered.
Oh,
Good counter from
only
Hodge.
Hodge. Hodge counters at A.
Counters at their
Wow.
base too.
Already a countdown, very impressive.
Red team scores.
We had a countdown.
Blue
Yeah, Limbo has 5 up right now.
Blue takes B.
You're testing B.
Still unsure what to do.
Yeah, Limbo seems to be struggling to get out of their base. Thus
Yeah.
occupying B and just pistol sniping away that shows up. Which creates an issue because on Waterway you don't really group up. So a lot of the Limbo players, if they go to Bs, they're facing these 2v1s that they just will lose. Like they're
Get one trade.
what the other one? Oh, they get B.
Blue takes
There's still one more though. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, Limbo's doing a nice job keeping the pressure off. Looks like it does. Trying to catch him out of position to try to get these flips here. All Limbo needs right now is B.
One thing that Limbo is doing that's very good is they're not turtling. Is that when you face these really good teams and you feel like you're getting out killed, is a lot of teams will just try and turtle in their base and just wait them out. But Limbo is trying to
And we have a
contest points
countdown
out.
going in for Limbo
Count
right
out for
now.
Limbo.
Countdown.
team.
Oh, and they're gonna get beat.
Immediately flipped over.
Oh wow, yeah.
Oh,
They only got
that's
2 up.
Exarch saves.
Nice.
Nice counter by Exarch.
Red team
Counters
Another
again.
one.
They got 2 up.
But they're just getting countdown.
If you're in the
after
scenario where they have like 3 or 4 in your bases, you just gotta go for B.
countdown. Or the enemy base.
Ooh, we had multiple button holds going on and multiple button fights.
Ooh,
at
wow,
the
they
end.
score. Good button hold by Cream, I think.
Like 2 on each button.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. Good timing on the for holding that button
I
down.
like it.
I didn't even notice they scored.
Oh, hello.
Fine.
The
Finding a
Discord
B.
stream makes it a bit hard.
It is a little bit low quality.
Yeah, does have a score now, and at this point,
Limbo does
Limbo
not have their base.
Limbo does not have their own
Get your
base.
Yes, it is pretty easy to forget that kind of stuff when you're in this kind of map, especially because does get very stressful. But yeah, especially because the scored a point, they should still keep up the aggression either way, and looks like they're doing pretty damn good at that. And Limbo really does have to do their best to try and match the aggression.
Ooh, good
Because I
kill by
think
Medicinal.
Oh, medicinal takes our cream.
I did say earlier that Taylor was about the consistency as well. That's just as much so for Waterway. So let's hope both teams can keep this up.
After pushing in their base, get a countdown.
See, oh, medicinal. FB.
Good initiative by Limbo to go for B though.
You know, if you only have 1 on your button, there's no reason to send the whole team after them.
Exactly.
Good kill by Avalush. Avalush?
Takes out
I
Vanny.
can't read his name because it's so low quality. I just see an A.
Yeah,
It's
that is Avalanche.
Avalanche.
Avalush patrolling. Okay.
Okay, but yeah, especially when your base is getting a countdown and there's people attacking it, it really does just come up to you and your team to just trust in each other that you're going to go for B and that they're going to try their best to get a counter on their own base too. So that's why domination. No, I'm not gonna use that joke again. But either way, you really do just want to trust in your teammates and just hope that they'll hold up their end of the bargain while you go to B, just counter. And it's a pretty stressful situation to deal with, especially if there's very few people left to counter. So that's another
pistol
countdown.
sniping from their base.
That's a score. There we
Yeah,
go.
that's the point.
Again?
It's definitely possible to have 2 people up and still miss the counter because both of those people might be out of dash, or they might be in the middle of going from their base to B.
Or the worst, just being sub B after a fight. No dash.
Yeah, the last place you'd want to be when you're getting your base counted down on is probably the basement at your base. For sure.
Great aggression by Fractor there.
Fracture going to
Absolutely.
right
Honestly,
to
Fractor's been very I'm not too surprised with him because that's just kind of what he does.
He's got like a 4 kill streak. Jeez.
Good counter there.
Yep, at the counter.
Hodge. Hope we
I'm
can get the
surprised
kill
Lembo's
here.
holding up long, and looks like Teenager had a little bit of a 2v1 going there. He was handling himself pretty well for a little bit. But yeah, Limbo is really just holed up in their base because of how aggressive the has been. So they really should match their aggression. That's just the best option. Sorry, I just ate some a little bit.
Yeah, Hodge trying to push in. Yeah, honestly, when you're pushing into waterways, you want to try and minimize your time on rails. Because very good pistol snipers are watching those rails and will immediately pick you off if you stay on it for more than like a second or
Exactly,
two.
and you can just take a roundabout
There we
way by
go.
taking the rails on the
We got
edge.
a
That's-
team wipe coming
they got
into
it.
this.
Yep, that's point.
It's
That's it.
Limbo.
Unless
Yeah,
it goes
that's it.
counters.
Unless it goes.
Good job, both teams on that. They're taking the win on Waterway here, 3-0. Teenager leading the score, 4,600 points here, 20 kills, 13 deaths. On Limbo's side, we have Exarch leading the score, 39 kills, 3,900 points, 9 kills. Hodge top scoring on Limbo, and then on the side we have Fractor, 23 kills, top scoring for an overall map.
I think Limbo did a pretty decent job, all things considered. Is they didn't. I think they were just outkilled. They didn't try and turtle on Waterway, which is never a good idea unless you're in a pub. And I think they probably wouldn't have like lasted as long if they did just try and turtle on their base because they'd get wiped and then that'd be it. Are we to see a ball though?
Tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker
Double
ball.
or nothing. Double or nothing.
All right.
Double or nothing.
Well, anyway, that was the match. It was pretty interesting to watch.
Oh god, we gotta go help
Anyway,
Firehorse. There's nobody in
Yeah.
this booth.
Yeah.
Let's sign off
Exactly.
here. Good job to taking the win on both Abyss and Waterway tonight. Thank you for my commentators coming in to join. Thanks for everyone watching.
Absolutely.
Woo,
You guys,
guys.
any last words you guys want to say? Shoutouts or anything?
So, yeah, shoutouts to clan name, team name, other Southern Cross, my international back alley, the Night Owls. Shoutouts to One Up for casting this, you're great. And also, yeah, shoutouts to both teams. That was pretty thoroughly entertaining. And shoutouts to Firehorse, who's right now fighting the good fight, casting HI versus Boast, and I'm going there right now. See ya.
Too laggy. Lazarus or .com, anything you want to say? And they all left already. So that's it for everyone watching now. Go hop over. Go watch the other match going on, casted by Firehorse. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit subscribe. Want to thank everyone for watching. I love this community. Hyperdash community, great. Dash League's great. You're all great. So, until next time, everyone here takes care, and see you later.